I'm gonna do it.
Let's talk presidential politics because we've talked a lot about the Republican side of this and the Trump DeSantis. I won't say even conflict at this time because I think it's pretty much over at this point. But let's talk about the Democratic field because like this week it was like we saw Joe Biden officially declare his that he is running for re-election. And then I got to give credit to the girl Nikki Haley for making the case that he's going to be dead within a couple years. Like in all likelihood, Joe Biden will be dead soon.
Oh God,
yeah,
I would hope so. Can you imagine the nightmare his existence would be like if he isn't dead in 5 years?
If he isn't dead in 5 years, just run him again. Let's see how far we can take this.
And like,
let's see how we fare under Litch leadership.
And but like there does look like there is a Democratic field, so to speak. I mean, like, look, I do not see any outcome short of either of them dying that will prevent a Trump-Biden 2024 rematch.
And hey, that is certainly on the table in both cases.
Yeah. So like, who knows what could happen? But like, on the Democratic ticket side, you got RFK Jr. Declaring his candidacy, and I saw in a Fox News poll is at 19%, which is fairly impressive for like an outsider candidate, and then Marianne Williamson, and like these are sort of the I don't know the protest candidates, people filling in. What do you guys make of either RFK or Marianne Williamson?
At this late date, do we not know now? Like, what do you want out of this? Like, if you want entertainment, okay, go with God, but like expecting anything out of this process. Like, oh, they're going to move the Overton window or whatever. It's like, have we not gotten enough examples of how this works to know that there is nothing that is going to emerge from anything out of this? That there's
Matt,
no reason to get invested in it.
You say that, but like, then if what you're saying is true, then why is the Democratic Party trying so hard to deny Marianne and RFK a chance to debate Biden and expose him as a doddering old fool? Because, I mean, like, that could very well happen. And if it does, you're talking about a game changer in Democratic electoral politics. Because, if Joe Biden were ever to be exposed, for instance, on a debate stage as being entirely out of it and essentially checked out, then I think
no one's voting for that.
Yeah, the Democratic Party is in big trouble, boys.
It is genuinely insane that this 80-year-old man who is visibly decaying before our eyes is just... If he wants it, it's his, and there's no way to stop it. It's astounding that that's the case, but that is the Democratic Party we have. Like, it can come together to fend off anything that its minions perceive as like a threat to their specific prerogatives within it. But beyond that, like, it's a bunch of camps of con artists and careerists just circling around these offices and signatures and doing whatever the people in the center of those want to do, whether they're 80-year-olds or 90-year-olds, whatever it is. In fact, having those people there is better because it allows the staff more leeway, probably.
I got to say about RFK's candidacy, I'm kind of confused about who the fuck it's for. If you told me like a year ago RFK is going to run for the Democratic nomination in 2024, I'd go, okay, I can guess what that campaign is going to be about. But so far, he's like sort of like tiptoeing away from the vaccine stuff, and I wonder then what's it about? Like, what is his core set of issues?
Well, he's got a bunch of stuff. I mean, it seems like it's like the anti-imperial critique of the Democrats, plus anti-vaccine stuff, populism in its broadest sense. I could see like there are plenty of Democratic people who believe in QAnon, like people who are legacy Democrats.
Yeah.
I could see him appeling to them for sure.
Okay, he needs to do an event with Vincent Fuchsia and be like, my uncle.
And he's like, yo, my long-lost cousin. Yeah. You're back from the sea.
Marianne Williamson, that's another one where I don't know. I can I have more of an idea over who that's for. I don't know. I so far the answer seems to be like delusional people because they're like she's getting the biggest response on TikTok, and it's not in the news. It's like, well, yeah,
What?
the news sucks, but that's not a story.
I mean,
Oh,
what is her stance on? I'm going to need to hear. I'm going to need to hear from Marianne Williamson on two very important issues. One, how mirrors know to reflect things that are behind a piece of paper when you put it next to it, and how is she going to deal with the coming threat of the rise of the Nephilim when they resurface and declare war on humanity?
Yeah.
I mean, look, like, I mean, I guess it seems like we're shitting on them or whatever, but like Marianne and RFK, I guess like as a whole are probably like, closer to my point of view than Joe Biden is. But I don't know if either of them have the juice. And as far as like RFK goes, I think it's cool that he's running for president on a platform of like the CIA killed my uncle and father. But like running for the Democratic nomination while also saying that like 300 million Americans have like fatally poisoned themselves with the vaccines or whatever, just like it's, I don't know, you got to pick your battles, you got to pick your spots, because like I just don't see it's the whole anti-vax thing and his weird ass voice. Sorry, I know he had throat cancer.
I mean, the voice is like, come on, man, what are you doing?
He has at least a couple things I like. I like the idea of running a campaign where it's just like the CIA killed my family, because yeah, true. I like that Dennis Kucinich is there. I always like to see him, and that's two things I like, which I guess means I have to vote for him. That's two more things than anyone else.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, you know what I like to see? Cheryl Hines.
Yeah, she's that's three things.
Yeah, that's three things I like about RFK Jr.
He's lapping the fucking field now. Okay, I think we found out who this campaign's for. Everyone.
Yeah,
we just answered our own question.
They get in the White House, and there's a curb season where Larry's there, just hanging out.
Yeah,
Larry and Leon in the White House, just showing up during cabinet meetings and asking for crackers or something.
But back to Joe Biden though, who's going to be 98 years old next year. There's increasing because he's so old and running again. There is another spate of articles being like, this makes it even more important, like Kamala Harris's role even more important. And I'm just wondering, when are they going to drop this dead weight? When are they going to drop this dead weight? They need a replacement here, because
they do need that is the thing. Like, you could imagine occurring, which is getting her off of the ticket. But again, you can't change anything. You cannot intervene in what has been like thrown up by previous decisions. But because Nikki Haley on absolutely spot on, like, it is unlikely that Biden would survive a second term. So like, you are effectively voting Kamala for president.
Yeah,
if he's running in 2024.
Yeah, Nikki Haley. I mean, she, if anyone is like the least stupid out of that field, it's definitely her. Like, she's
offering Disney South Carolina to build a new Disney World in. That was
where she was like, we're not woke, but we're not annoying either.
Yeah,
which is like not true, but like, it's a good sales pitch. She's the only one who seems to have like any idea of the party existing beyond the next 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
And I would say Biden's probably gonna fucking die. Do you want Kamala as president? Is like the best pitch I've heard for independence by the Republican Party.
Yeah,
in the last like couple decades.
Well, two things. They just like, Matt, I think you're exactly right, because everyone knows that this is just like unchangeable. There's nothing that they can do to like change course or correct anything. That's why we're getting all these spates of art, like this deluge of articles about how like Kamala Harris's role is more important than ever. And I just want to show this one paragraph from Thomas Friedman's piece on this subject today. He writes, at the same time, Harris has to make the case for herself, ideally by showing more forcefully what she can do. One thing Biden might consider is putting Harris in charge of ensuring that America's transition to the age of artificial intelligence works to strengthen communities in the middle class. It's a big theme that could take her all over the country. And I got to say, that is a brilliant idea. You want to talk about an issue that you can give to your VP that they could barnstorm the country, raising awareness about? It's making sure that our transition into an artificially intelligent nation strengthens middle class communities.
Yeah. I mean, like, if you get Kamala talking to any of the AIs, they'll go rampant instantly.
Can we bring up that clip?
They'll brick their own hard drives trying to replicate her diction. She would find a way to lose to DeSantis, but after the latest I don't know what DeSantis outburst.
Ugh.
I'm not sure anymore. He's like,
Ugh.
he could be the fucking least appealing person who's ever run for president.
He is. He's like doing a Greg Stilson speed run here. Just, like just any artifice of serious political guy just peeling off and revealing, that like Toontown screech.
How would they know me? Okay, think about that. Do you honestly believe that's credible?
How would they know me?
How would they know me? He's Dean screaming like on the daily now.
And I like the thing about him torturing people at Guantanamo, because he's like, come on, man. He's like, that was years ago. Do you think that you would remember the haunting face of the man who tortured you as you helplessly screamed for mercy?
Everything that people said about like Hillary as a person that people were supposed to relate to, it is true. It seems to be like triply true for DeSantis. He is the least likable person put out as like a major
he's the best. He's the best resume guy, but for the Republicans.
Yeah, but it's just like wholly off-putting. Who is seeing that and going like, that's my guy. That's
the number of Republicans who have had in-person meetings with DeSantis came out and then immediately endorsed Trump. At this point, it's a trend.
It's the Giuliani effect. The same thing happened to Giuliani in 2008, where the more he campaigned, the worse he fucking did, because people actually saw him. That's DeSantis's fate. No one can withstand meeting him.
Well, speaking of hot boy summer, they're saying that he might announce his candidacy in June.
And that's what all the fucking pro DeSantis people say. Are like, oh, wait till he announces. Everything's gonna change when he announces. What is his voice gonna crack?
God, thinking about the Guantanamo thing is so dark, because like it'd be one thing if you get abducted by the global hegemon and taken across the world to be tortured by some faceless bureaucratic psycho, like, or some wild-eyed like O'Brien like believer, but then to just have this persnickety dickhead just show up being like, well, it's torture o'clock.
Yeah. Like overhearing this fucking pussy in the other room. I said no bun. I'm on the South Beach diet. It's carbs.
It's force feeding time. Not for me. It's sugar.
Yeah, you. Here comes the pudding.